Space Pirates, and Reach now looks like he's managed to catch the lurkers. He's just going to use his manlots to finish them off. No! Whoa, that was good use of that Scourge, though. Managing to pick off the observer there, the first observer of the game. And meanwhile, though, one Corsair going down, a couple of Corsairs still alive, but Reach in definite trouble here also, despite the fact he managed to punch Roro there by killing off a number of Overlords, and he's pretty much fought off this, whoa, there we go, the Lurker goes down, this Lurker attack. On the other hand, though, he has managed to push up, build another expansion, which is critical, obviously. And Lurker Ling transitions nicely into late game ultras, especially if the Zerg player can pick up a 4th base, which he should be able to do pretty soon at the inside position, at the inside 6 o'clock position or 5:30 position. You know, it transitions nicely because you actually don't really need upgrades for your range attack. You can just go for Carapace and melee. Your Lurkers don't get affected that much in this matchup by which I'm calling range attacks, so you generally don't get it if you're going to Lurker Ling. You generally just get Carapace and melee. Now, we're seeing a +1 attack for Reach. I think his +1 should be done, actually. It should be +2 right now. And meanwhile, though, Overlord's following that force around, and it might mean that the Observer will be Scourged. I don't see Reach building that many Dragoons. Okay, there's a couple of Dragoons, but he really needs more Dragoons to be able to deal with this. And look at this. I mean, the one Lurker is still alive at the corner of Reach's expansion, preventing him from picking up that 3rd. So Reach is going to play a low econ game here. Although I'm not saying that's going to be the end of the game, because Reach certainly has been capable and known to be able to win without that much econ against Zerg by pure manliness alone. And there's a Defiler's Mount. So he's going to go for this late game transition. I like the style. We saw it work pretty well for, I think it was By Great on Carthage in the OSL. Jeez, I'm good. And a bunch of Lings going up to the upper left. +1 attack for Reach. Yeah, that's right. He's at +2, going to +2. He's picked up his inside position meanwhile, so he is going to get a 3rd finally. But now some Lings coming around, and relatively slow 4th though for the Zerg player here, so that might hurt him. He could have picked up a greater advantage, I felt, in this game had he gone for that 4th earlier. Now he's managed to divide Reach's expansions a little bit there by putting a couple of Lurkers on the left side. Not sure if it's going to be that effective though. Reach just relying on speed lots. Generally, you don't want speed lots to deal with Lurkers, because they just get hurt so much by the splash. But look at this nice splitting here from Reach. It's kind of like the M&M micro, where you want to split your units, and that's what Reach is doing exactly. While running battle here between the Scourge, the Overlords, and the Observers. I'm sure you guys have noticed that, but the Observers obviously they have to be really careful, because these Overlords can spot them, and then the Scourge can take them out. So Reach also brings Sairs into the mix to kill off the Overlords. Obviously, they're vulnerable to the Scourge, so this is, you know, a definite interesting fight here. There's Reach. His manlots fear no Lurkers. I mean, generally you see Dragoons being employed to deal with them. Reach's range for Dragoons is probably done at this point. Reach also has a shuttle out, interesting, could be for a storm drop. Looks like Roro is not going to spot it though, with those Scourge still just trying to hunt down the Overlords. Reach also has a DT out too, but a large force here of Lurker Ling, and with a couple of Dark Swarm, that is going to be just absolutely deadly against Reach's forces. He's going to have to rely on basically High Templar to be able to storm underneath the Dark Swarm and be able to deal with Lurkers underneath that way, because Dragoons obviously won't be able to attack, and Zealots, like I said, not very good, even when they're fairly manly, as Reach's are. Now, there's a Defiler going up there. We'll see what he manages to do. It looks like he's actually not going to cast a Swarm, though, knowing that there's just all Zealots. It's really not worth it, and yeah, it is mainly just Zealots. Reach, perhaps anticipating a switch into this kind of build. Great storms on the Dark Swarm, managing to kill everything underneath with just Zealots, and Roro here looking like he's in trouble despite picking up that nice lead by denying the 3rd base. Reach so far has not lost any units because Roro has not been able to get all of his Lurkers in any one position. What's happening is the Zealots are getting damaged, they're losing their shields, but Reach is killing off the Lurkers before they can really just die en masse. As the Zealots are usually do when they get confronted in that situation. Reach looks like he was denied the drop by some. Oh my goodness! A Dark Archon being produced for Reach. So we're gonna see some feedback action. Is the most likely use of this Dark Archon. He's probably not going to bother with Maelstrom. It would be pretty pimp if he did, but he's probably going to go for some feedback on the Defilers. Defilers obviously don't have a lot of health, so even if they had 100 energy, they would die to a feedback, and that is certainly one way of dealing with them as a Protoss player. So Reach obviously has pulled a Pimpus play out, by the way. You should check out my Pimpus playlist for Reach pulling an amazing Pimpus play on Choja using late game Maelstrom against a gigantic Devourer fleet, which was used to counter his carrier fleet. So yeah, pretty epic game. You should check that out when you get a chance. Very, very Mantoss style there. And here is an interesting sort of mid-map contain here from the Zerg player. Not sure if it's the best idea though, because he's sort of isolated in that middle area, and Reach can still get out from either the left or the right side. So not sure if this is going to work that well. Reach also transitioning to Reavers. Interesting. I think he's going to have the resources to do so, and it's not a bad switch at all, because Reavers obviously are not affected by Dark Swarm at all. So, you know, that could be a very smart move here. And here's, oh, we're going to see, are we going to see it? Oh, yes, are we going to see feedback? Feedback! Roro! How do you like your energy being sucked back into your own stomach and killing you? It's like some acid reflux there or something. Actually, that's really not like some acid reflex. It's more like he's like some kind of weird duck, and Reach just made some faux gras from him. Oh, Reach with some Dark Swarm! Hello and goodbye, Roro. Welcome to PVZ, Roro. He's going to ruin his 2 and 3 record farther if he manages to lose, but a good plague off on Reach's units, that's going to hurt. Those Zealots are probably at absolutely nothing now, because most of their shield is probably down from dodging those lurkers. But did you see that amazing freaking dual storm drop there from Reach? Really pimp play there. And I gotta say, yeah, it really is like faux gras there. I mean, man, Roro's Defilers are a bunch of fat ducks, and Reach is just stuffing food into them and making their livers swell up and die from that. So there's Reach. The shuttle is still alive. Roro falling apart a little bit. That should have been scourged a little bit a while ago, and Reach is gonna go in again for another storm, I think. And Roro slow to react there. Looks like the storm gets down. Oh, he misses with one storm. Is he gonna get another perfect storm? No. Looks like he's gonna morph an Archon. Is the Archon gonna go up though? There's only 2 Hydras fighting that morphing Archon. Archon's probably gonna go down, and so will the shuttle. So you know, that wasn't very effective, but I think the damage has been done at that lower right. Reach on even basis, of course, as the Zerg player Roro, and that is not a good position, especially when Roro's been mining longer. That means he's gonna be in more trouble. Okay, another feedback. Defiler has casted his Dark Swarm though, so that duck isn't very fat. It's not gonna die. Not gonna be made into faux gras. But Reach now going for an attack at the lower right with a contingent of speed lots. Looks like everything's going to go down the middle also, despite the swarm, because of Reach's just absolutely insane magical you know, storming there. Reach, of course, originally known for his psionic storm, believe it or not. It was called the, I forgot what word it was, but basically it translates to the magical Protoss for his absolute, well, not really just magic, it's like the sort of the predictor Protoss or something like that, for being able to just know exactly where to put his storms. And looks like Reach losing his Corsair. It's a bit careless there, just running in and getting them sniped off. Although Reach might be close to max actually, so he might just decide that he doesn't need that many Sairs anymore. Reach with Reavers out. This is going to be absolutely critical. Looks like his Dark Archon goes down though, so a little bit unfortunate. Reach might actually lose this Reaver, but no, there's like 3 more Reavers following it, and Reach is now taking down the lower right. Speedlots on an expedition to kill there, and looks like Reach is definitely taking a solid lead here. The mid-map army, like I expected, getting isolated and being rather ineffective. Reach right now without that many units, but a ton, just an absolute butt ton of freaking High Templar there, just storming the crap out of all the lurkers. Reach just absolutely, his High Templar are incredibly manly, and now he's got Reavers. This is an unbeatable late game force. If the Protoss can set up this force, it is just so deadly. I mean, you've seen so many great Zergs getting beaten by this force. I mean, Jadon got beat by this force against Free. Savior, of course, lost to Nauron in the Holy Wars. because of this this build here by Nowral. Once he gets this complete package, and Roro isn't exactly a great Zerg player. I'm sorry, but you know it's true. He's not that great of a player. He has managed to deny the expansions early on, but he just couldn't follow up. And now Reach doesn't matter if he's playing. Look at those fanboys, those Reach fanboys, just clapping in happiness. And Lurker's just isolated, gonna die to the next Scarab. Roro is out of this game at this point. Just look at this manly combination here of Reavers, Archons, Dragoons, Observers, and High Templars, and the only thing that Roro had to answer with is Lurker Ling. He's consuming some Overlords too. He needs those Plagues, and GG coming from Wemade Fox Roro. So Reach not only taking out Roro, but also managing to stave off defeat for Air Force Ace. Look at those fans of Reach. Look at that stupid girl, probably a Mind fan, not clapping like crazy. Should be cheering for Reach. Roro looks kind of like Stork actually, but sucks. Not managing to close off Air Force Ace. Actually, he doesn't really suck, I gotta be honest. He managed to beat 3 of Ace's players, so gonna give the guy a little bit of credit. Anyway, we're gonna be moving on to see Reach fight again, and Reach saluting us. We salute you, Park Jun-suk, and we're moving on to Game 5 of this series.